Hello YouTube and welcome back to the channel outside the target demographic. Today I'm going to be showing you another Temu purchase, and that is a smartwatch. Let's get started. I have my tried and true Seiko SNK 509. Absolutely love this watch. It will continue to be on my left wrist, but what I've been doing is wearing this guy on the right wrist. This is a smartwatch. I got it off of Temu. I think it was like $30 whole, and it does what I needed to do. So I like the fact that this is analog. I don't have to charge it. It's easy for me to just, okay, I know what time it is. It has the date and day time window there, so I know today's Sunday the 30th. I wanted a smartwatch so I could keep track of a couple things. The number of steps that I take, how far I walk. I, again, work in a warehouse for those of you who do not know. So there's a lot of walking around, just a way to keep track of that. This will do heart rates. It will do a bunch of smart applications that this does not do. So I kind of double bangle up and, you know, if should this guy fail, I have a replacement watch. Until then, I'm using it more as a computer or a tracker versus a timepiece. On the main screen, if you press and hold, you can choose one of many faces. And they can be animated, like this guy. They can be very basic, where it's just the time. You have analog, you have digital. In the app, you can download different faces. So this one tells you all the things: your heart rate, the date, the battery capacity on your watch, how many calories you burn, the distance, the number of steps. You can jump right into placing a phone call. So different faces will do different things. I like this one because, again, I'm not using it necessarily as a watch as much as a computer. So this tells me the battery capacity, the heart rate, today's date, number of steps, the weather, which is nice without having to pull out my phone all the time. So that's the faces. What I like about this is it's actually a rather large display. The display itself is maybe 1.25 by 1.5. So it's a pretty decent display. And again, this was $30. So for how responsive this thing is and the resolution, yeah, I'm impressed. So what you can do is sliding over here just gives you these standard 6 apps. I can find out where my phone is by hitting this green button. It will make my phone vibrate and make noise, so I'm able to locate it in a room. I can jump right to the weather, and it will tell me the highs and lows and possibility of rain for about a week. I can jump right to my media player. I can pause, play, rewind, fast forward, hit this button, and I can adjust the volume on the go, which is pretty nice. You can do different types of exercises, and it will log how many calories are being burned and stuff like that. And then you can do voice commands with the talk after tap. So when you scroll this way, I can customize and determine which apps I want available to the right side of the screen, if that makes sense. So right now I have set up different custom alarms. So if I need to, in 5 minutes, go check something or something like that, follow up with laundry, what have you, there are different incremental timers already. Have a calculator set up, then the heart rate, music player. So you can customize these and set them up to be whatever you want them to be. Hitting the sport button will bring up your apps folder. So I have mine set up like this, where I can drag it around and get to the one that I want. But there's a myriad of apps here. I have text messages, media, blood pressure, heart rate, different timers, the weather, my oxygen concentration, alarms. You can use this as a shutter release for your camera. So if you set it up to do a portrait or timed photography or taking a selfie, something like that, you can use this as your shutter release to take pictures without being near your phone or relying on timers. Placing phone calls, again, the calculator. So all sorts of different apps on this guy for $30. Very, very impressed with the quality on this. When you swipe down, you can set it up where when you raise the watch up, it will bring up the display or it won't. So that's a battery saving function right there. You can adjust the brightness and contrast and connections and all sorts of things. So very robust for the price. Included with the watch is a charging cable. Unfortunately, it's proprietary, but what it'll do is you'll notice there's two gold contacts there. When you get it close enough, it will magnetize to it, orientate itself, correctly line up, and start charging the watch. Additionally, since both electricity and magnets have polarity, it will not let you connect the cable if you try putting it in the wrong orientation. So it will prevent a reverse polarity connection. That's kind of nice. The reason I say I don't care for it is, honestly, I feel like USB-C is kind of the industry standard now. This is a thick boy. It's probably a ½ inch thick, maybe a little bit less than. So I feel like there's plenty of space where they could have just had a vertically mounted USB-C connector. I imagine it's a little bit more waterproof. I believe it's IP67 waterproof and dustproof rating. So having flush contacts versus a hollow cavity like a USB-C probably helps with that. The other thing is I do have a second watch because, again, I was trying to go with the whole watch on a band thing. Didn't work out for me, so it worked out for the wife, and that she now has a, actually probably better in some ways, smartwatch for her phone. All that to say, hers comes with a similar cable, but the polarity is reversed. So I cannot use this cable on both watches or her cable on both watches. This one's dedicated for mine, and hers actually comes in from the other side. So no cross compatibility with that, which tells me it's not an industry standard. They just kind of grabbed something and threw it in there. It works for its purposes. I would say I get about 5 to 7 days worth of usage on this guy, depending on how often I'm using it, clearly, which is why I like this analog guy. There's no battery to die and no battery to change. But you get a little bit more computer tracking stuffs with this. Right here, you have a couple different sensors for the blood oxygen concentration, the heart rate monitor, REM cycle sleep function, all sorts of different things there. The last thing about this watch is it does have a microphone built in, so you can do voice commands or voice prompts with it. You can do phone calls with it. You can view text messages and other notifications from Facebook or Pinterest or whichever ones you prefer, but you cannot reply to them. So I had a Samsung Gear S smartwatch maybe 6 years ago. The battery lasts about a day nowadays, so it doesn't get any use. But with that one, the screen was actually big enough that you could launch a very small keyboard, and you could use the swipe type of keyboard entry, and you would actually be able to reply to text messages and hit send. This one's only a display, so it will buzz, and it will light up, and it will show you, John Smith, the day, the time, and then whatever the message is. And you'll know that you need to go over to your phone to reply back to it. So marginally better than having your phone all the way over there going off and you don't hear it or something. It's a notification more than a interactive display for that. But for phone calls, you can handle them here, and you have it nice and close to your mouth, especially if you're driving. This is going to be closer to your face than wherever the hidden microphone is in your car. So that's kind of handy. Like I said, I'm mostly using mine as a data log, number of steps, distance, calorie counting, stuff like that. I'm trying to get a little bit better into shape. Nothing super, going to the gym. Don't pay for gym memberships, but I'm trying to do better with that. So being able to keep track of calories burned and number of steps and sleep cycle and all that is a benefit to me and might be a benefit to you. This watch will pair with the DaFit, DaFit app, and it'll keep track of your exercises, calories burned, number of steps. It gives you like a daily, weekly, or monthly overview of that, sleep cycles, all the things. And in that app, you can customize which of the faces you're going to see, what your step goal is, adjust your notifications, make a couple of changes in there. This is the first of two smartwatches that I purchased. The DaFit app, I feel like, is a little bit less robust than the JU Pro app, which is what the wife's watch uses. So honestly, if you had to go between the two, I would look for a smartwatch that uses the JU Pro app. Seems to be a little bit more robust, but haven't had any issues with either of them. Once you connect through Bluetooth, you'll connect through the app to this watch and they'll be able to feedback off of each other. So for the price, for $30, I mean, I feel like you can't go wrong. Look around for a watch that does expressly what you're looking for, I guess. But this one, as I said, I'm using as a data log. Seems to do everything I want to. Very responsive screen. I feel like it has pretty decent resolution. I'm surprised. Like I said, maybe 5, 7, 9 days if I'm pushing it between charges. Very reasonable for $30. I feel like you can't get an analog, standard Casio for $30. So something that I just started carrying and thought I might pass along to you guys. A big part of everyday carry is having something that you're going to carry every day and something that will synergize with stuff that you're already carrying. One of my videos, I have a universal socket adapter. It does everything from 7 to 19 millimeter, and that paired with the Harbor Freight Icon ratchet set gives me the ability to drive not only nuts and bolts and screws, but also things that have a bit to them. So security hex and Phillips and flathead and Torx and all the things. So this seems like a very easy add should you not be a watch wearer already, or if you're looking to upgrade into something a little bit more smart from an analog or standard timepiece. I feel like this is a good entry level for $30. Does all the things that the big boys do for substantially cheaper. May not be the thinnest. I will say sometimes putting on a long sleeve shirt or jacket, due to the thickness of this, it will sometimes snag as I'm trying to get my arm through the sleeve. But other than that, I feel like for the weight and the price that this is an easy add that will of course synergize with. I believe it works with iPhones as well as Androids. And you get text message notifications, phone calls, be able to adjust your media on the fly, your volume levels, alarms, heart rate monitors, all sorts of stuff. So to me, it's an easy add, and maybe it is for you as well. As always, this is outside the target demographic. Any questions, comments, concerns you have, leave them in the comments section below, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.